Hey guys, thanks for joining me for a new video. Tonight we're gonna have a little fun. We're gonna watch another YouTuber's print on demand / Amazon merch video. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually doing this because, man, the YouTube algorithm will not get one of Joe Roberts' videos out of my recommended videos. He has this one that's all about leaving Printful. And I thought I was gonna wanna talk about that video since, I had to watch it. Literally, it's been on my recommended probably 20 to 30 times. And I sit here and watch YouTube all day. So I checked out that video and then I noticed he had just posted a new one kind of talking about potentially starting a print-on-demand business on Shopify instead of merch by Amazon. So what do you say we have some fun with this? I'm sure Joe's a great guy. I've invited him to be on my channel before. We didn't work it out scheduling wise. I'm gonna re-invite him after this. Hopefully we can have a little debate similar to how me and Dominic talked Printful versus Printify the other day. And yeah, let's go show him some. It's all done in love, by the way. We're not throwing any bad blood his way. He knows what he's talking about when he talks Shopify, the way I know what I'm talking about when I talk merch by Amazon. But let's go watch his video. Let's hear what he has to say and let's react to it in real time. So I'm gonna go jump on my computer and we can get started. Thanks again for joining me for this video, guys. Let's have some fun. Let's react. Let's keep it respectful. I think we're gonna take differing viewpoints, but you know what? Let's just have some fun with it. This is my first reaction video that I can recall ever doing. I may have done one in the past, but this is the first one I've done in a while, so.
Should I do it? I'm gonna do it again. I'm about to say something controversial. Stop selling t-shirts with Amazon merch.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
Ground rules. I've made videos in the past where I've said something that goes against what dozens of YouTubers are saying on their channels or even things they're teaching in a course that they made. And what happens is so many people that watch the video end up having something to say because they disagree with me and they post down in the comments. But what I want to ask you to do is please watch this entire video first so you can understand my entire point before you say something in the comments that I already addressed in this video. Deal?
Deal or no deal?
Anyway, the year is 2020 and I don't think that selling t-shirts with Amazon merch is a great business model, especially for beginners. Can it work? Yep.
So one thing I'd say just right there about Amazon merch and beginners, like Amazon merch in my mind is the perfect place for beginners to learn print on demand for a few reasons. Like number one, it's free. Number two, it's gamified, right? The gamification, we're only gonna let you list 10 shirts, but if you're successful, you can list 25. And then if you're successful, you can list 100. The gamification keeps people interested. And then also prevents you from getting overwhelmed initially. And number three, the merch by Amazon like upload process relative to the alternative ways to sell on Amazon is, as far as I've seen, and I've been on, merch, KDP, Ignite, and Seller Central, like merch is by far the easiest. So as far as beginners go, I'd say like it's probably the place to be learning print on demand. Personally, plus you get paid a royalty. You don't have to keep a credit card on file or anything like that. So there's zero downside.
Is it a great option? No. Are there better options out there? Yes. I know that many people have made money.
And also, saying that there's better options, it's worth pointing out, it's the, oh, look, there's, there I am on the Amazon merch search results. Love it. Thank you, YouTube. And thank you guys for subscribing and watching and liking my videos because you made that possible. But as far as better options go, keep in mind with Amazon merch, we're selling Prime eligible print on demand products, meaning we're benefiting from that Prime checkmark on all of our listings on the world's #1 e-commerce destination with no downside. So I just had to point that out.
Money on Amazon merch. I'm aware of that, but over the last year, there are so many people that are jumping online and looking for ways to make some extra money online. And many of them are viewing videos where someone is recommending to start a t-shirt business on Amazon, and I just don't think that is the best option. Why? Well, in this video, we're going to break down a few examples. I think, however, the biggest reason is because when you are selling t-shirts on Amazon, you are only going to make a couple of dollars per sale. If you look here on Amazon's breakdown of how much money you can make, you can see that the royalties per sale are pretty low. You can see that for each sale, you're going to make just $3 or $4 or $5. And I did a little bit of research, and what I found is that most people that are selling t-shirts on Amazon are recommending a sale price of your shirt of just $17.99. And if you go back and look at Amazon's reference sheet for the royalty breakdown, you'll see that that will just give you a $3.72 royalty. And in other words, that is.
So one thing worth noting here is like, he's completely right. I would like to just shed light on the fact that at least twice that I'm aware of, Amazon has reduced the payout. So in the past, $17.99 would have netted you I think like over $6 royalty, and then I know for a fact it used to net you $5 and change, and today it nets you that $3.72. But for what it's worth, $3.72. If you can make one sale a day and net $3.72 profit from one sale a day, that's $1,357 a year profit. And again, pure profit, no downside. Keep that in mind. That's not bad. And I mean, and the way my mind works, I'm always thinking, well, if I can make 1 sale, what's stopping me from making 2? And if I can make 2, what's in the way of me making 4, right? So that's kind of how my brain works when it comes to this sort of stuff. But I do get I get it. You know, it's not the type of profit margin that gets people, well, for instance, he talks a lot of Shopify. Shopify attracts a lot of drop shippers. People who do drop shipping, they, maybe this is just my perception, but I think a lot of them chase the Lamborghini dream and the like big number dream. And there's 2 ways to get to big numbers. You know, like you can make $1 million by making 10 sales at $100,000 profit, or you can make 1 million sales at $1 profit. Either way, you got to your million, you know? And so I think I get where he's going with this.
Just how much profit you are going to make every single time you sell a shirt at that price with them. But Joe, isn't profit? What's wrong with that? A lot, and in this video, I'm going to break it down. We'll jump right into it right after this. The first reason is that when you're selling t-shirts, you're not making any money. When you're on Amazon, you're averaging just $3.72 in royalty per sale, and it's not my opinion that that's low, it's just the math. If you do simple math, you'll see that you're going to have to make hundreds of sales just to make $1,000 a month. The second reason is if you actually want to make this a great income source for you, you're going to need hundreds, if not thousands of designs uploaded to Amazon's platform to actually make consistent daily sales. And the third...
So I got to just stop and dissect. Nothing he said was like factually wrong or anything, but like you got to stop and dissect the first one. If you're drop shipping on Shopify, you understand the importance of upselling the customers who actually get out a credit card and convert. Like, it's not just about selling whatever the product was that was in the ad that they clicked to bring you to the Shopify store. You then want to hit them with upsells. You want to maximize the value of that customer that's willing to, and the reason I keep making a big deal out of like they pulled their credit card out, they're ready to buy, is because on Amazon, you know, like the alternative is selling on Amazon, right? Amazon's a trusted brand. You don't have to convince people to buy on Amazon. Their credit card's already saved. And when they typed Amazon.com in their browser, they went with the intent of making a purchase. So you don't have to convince them to buy, right? They go to Amazon expecting to spend money. So there is a definitely like 2 sides of this. And the whole thing about like how much money you make per sale, it matters way more. I think that's why he brought it up, honestly. To people selling on Shopify than us getting paid a royalty from merch by Amazon, because at the end of the month, when we get that lump sum deposited into our bank account, it doesn't matter how many sales it took to make that number. All that matters is that number, right? And because it's merch by Amazon, we don't have any downsides. So it's pure, we're guaranteed profit. Like we can't lose money because we don't have to rely on ads to drive traffic to our website. So I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. Again, nothing he said's wrong. Also, the point he made about needing a lot of products, that funnels right into what I always say. The more online real estate you occupy, the more money you make. So he's just reverse engineering, making $1,000 or more per month, and he's spot on. So
third reason is that Amazon actually is going to limit you as a new seller to how many uploads you can actually have per day and in total on your Amazon store.
And by the way, it's worth pointing out, let me back up, that the tier system, like you can look at it as bad, you can look at it as good. I personally love the tier system. The gamification of business helps keep people interested, and it helps give quantifiable, achievable goals. Because you know what I mean? When you get tiered up on Amazon merch, you don't actually get any, there's no like cash reward, for instance. So it's not like you would really care from a monetary perspective, but those of you guys in my Facebook groups here where we're talking Amazon merch, like when they do tier ups, look at how excited everybody is posting screenshots. It's like Christmas. So even though it means nothing in terms of like real, well, it lets you upload more. So I guess there's that, but like it doesn't, it's not, there's no monetary value in achieving a tier up in Amazon merch, and tier ups don't exist off of merch. It's just an Amazon merch thing. It still keeps it exciting. It keeps it fresh. So I really like it. And also it helps you not overwhelm the new sellers, which I do think is a big deal.
And in total on your Amazon store. So let's talk about this. To make $1,000 a month on Amazon merch, you're going to need to sell 268 shirts. You can find that number by just doing some simple math. If you divide 1,000 by $3.72, you're going to see that it's about 268 shirts. That's about 9 shirts per day, which isn't a lot, but when you first start with Amazon, you're going to be limited to just 25 designs on your account. See, Amazon has a tier system, which is going to limit how many uploads you can have on your account. And once you make 25 sales, you're going to be upgraded and you will now be able to upload 100 designs. To understand this a little more, I want to take a look at this case study that I found on the internet. This is from empireflippers.com. I'll put a link down in the description. But what they're doing is they're detailing an Amazon t-shirt business that made about $3,000 in profit per month. In this case study, they mentioned that the seller of the...
One quick note on Empire Flippers and merch by Amazon. When I first got into merch, there was this story on the Merch Informer blog of somebody, and I've got a screenshot over here. Somebody sold their Amazon merch account for a 27x forward multiple. So they were making just under $9,000 profit a month, and they were able to sell their merch by Amazon account. And this was while I was in tier 10. So you can bet I was excited when I saw this. They sold it on Empire Flippers for $234,798. So not bad. Let's see what he has to say about Empire Flippers though.
These shirts had decent knowledge of Adobe Photoshop, which allowed them to spend about 10 minutes per design. And I want to ask a question. Do you know how to use Photoshop? Do you feel comfortable making your own design? In my experience, most people that don't have any design background or they've never created anything creative in their life, they don't do great when they create their own designs. And that means you're going to have to hire someone, which is not a big deal. You can go on Fiverr.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning that, like, if you're a good designer or not, we're talking about selling print on demand on Amazon merch versus another platform. So you're still going to have to solve the design issue.
And you can find people to make you designs for $5 or $10. But like I said, when you first start, not only are you going to be limited in how many designs you can upload, but in order to actually make a lot of sales, you're going to have a lot of designs on the platform so that you can have a ton of different shirts that are selling at once. And that's going to cost a lot of money in all of those design costs. Let's say that you spend $5 per design and you want to max out your account and get 25 designs uploaded. That's going to cost you $125 in designs, which isn't a lot, but you're going to have to sell 20 shirts just to make up.
He's got a point, but you guys also know that there's YouTube channels like mine that have plenty of free tutorials, and you can use them in conjunction with free software like photopia.com, basically a free version of Photoshop. You can also go and check out a website like All Sunsets, link in the description. If you end up using it for $27, you get an annual license, and that gives you unlimited downloads of professional graphic designers creating the vintage retro sunset graphics that sell all day on places like Merch by Amazon. So I'm just saying there's options, but he's not, I mean, absolutely. You can also go to Fiverr, pay $5 a design for sure.
That cost. And hiring designers is definitely something that I recommend people to do. I just get nervous here because the profit margins on your shirts is going to be so low, and it's going to take you a while to actually recoup just that initial design investment. Basically what I'm saying here is, as a beginner with no graphic design experience, if you're going to use Amazon merch to make $1,000 a month, you're going to literally have to make hundreds of sales per month. And that's no easy feat. You're going to have to pay a designer, and you're going to have to upload tons of designs at the start and hope that you make sales so that way you can tier up to be able to upload more to your account. And even worse, the platform.
Also, can I just mention real quick, sorry, that like, what if you did both? If you started on merch, even in tier 10, and you had 10 designs and one of the 10 started selling, it's validated. Consider that idea as validated now. Then go sell it on Shopify, because if we're talking merch versus Shopify, I mean, even if you paid $5 per design, you'd be out $50 in tier 10. If you started a Shopify store, you're out way more than that already before your first sale. I mean, that's a whole nother thing. That's why I got to get him on the channel so we can talk about that, because startup costs with Shopify just to have a website definitely exceeds $50, and then you still have to drive traffic, which is that's pricey.
Platform is just so saturated. I recently saw a video where someone was recommending some of the best-selling niches and showing.
That's honestly, he might be referring to my video, by the way. I don't know. But also what he just said there about saturation. Ding. Yes, that is an incredibly valid point. So
different research methods for it. One of the niches that they covered was politics. And if you guys do a simple search on Amazon for this niche, you'll see, for example, that shirts that have the word Trump associated with them have over 10,000 results. That means that as a beginner, you are going to be competing with thousands of people, and to actually get your shirt seen is not going to be an easy feat. I'm not saying that this can't work. I'm just saying that as a beginner, your road to make $1,000 per month is going to be a long one. It's going to take a ton of designs, and a ton of time is going to be spent waiting for your account to be upgraded to the next level so you can upload more to your account. Now,
print on demand is not a get rich quick scheme, all right? For what it's worth though, if you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. I'm going to be telling the story of how my mom's account, when it was brand new in tier 10, I got her enough sales to get into tier 500, and the designs that we uploaded in the first month or two of her opening it have netted her over $1,000 profit, which is not to say that he's wrong. I completely agree with what he just said, with what Joe just said. But you know, I mean, I brought some experience with me when I helped my mom with her merch account, and I'm going to be retelling that story soon. So rather than tell it now, subscribe to my channel and you can look forward to me sharing that story, because it was related to Halloween. So as we get closer to Halloween, I'm going to slant some stories towards print on demand Halloween stories.
Oh, here's where I want to provide a little bit of a solution for you. Some people down in the comments will say something like, Joe, what if I have a shirt that really goes viral and it's doing really well? I make 20 sales per day on it or something like that. Isn't that a good thing if I'm just uploading it to Amazon and not doing anything to make those sales? Of course, that's great. Awesome job. You did a fantastic job selecting a niche, getting a design made that people actually want to buy. And if you make 20 sales a day, you, my friend, are going to make about $60 in profit, which isn't really a lot. But the good thing is that you found a niche and a design concept that is actually going to work. The solution.
Okay, so maybe he's actually piggybacking off of what I was suggesting of like, and I'm not saying he clearly didn't steal that idea from me. He got that idea in his head the whole time. But yes, it's validated on Amazon. He's probably going to suggest you take it to Shopify. I love it. Can I just mention though, real quick, you cannot overlook this. If you're making these sales on Amazon and you're making 20 sales a day, chances are you started out by making 1 sale, and then the next day you might have made 2, and the next day you might have made 6 or 10, right? But it tends to climb a ladder of sales. Why does that happen? Because if you understand how the Amazon algorithm works, it rewards you for converting customers. Customers type in a search term, you may rank on page 2. Let's say you get the sale though. You just signaled to Amazon's algorithm, hey, like my product's relevant to those search terms. Next time someone searches them, you improved your rank a little bit. Maybe it sells again. Boom, you improve your rank little by little by little. Next thing you know, like this is something you don't get on Shopify, but you get on Amazon. If you can signal to their algorithm that when someone searches this term, if they show your product at the top, you're most likely going to get the click and the conversion, which Amazon cares about, because every time someone buys something on Amazon, they make money. You know, they're making that, whether it's through Amazon Merch or through Seller Central, they make that, what do they call it? I don't want to call it the referral fee. They have a name for it. I don't know why it's slipping my mind right now. But anyways, that's extremely valid. So if you're making 20 sales a day, you might wake up tomorrow making 30 and then 100 the next day. So
here would be, what if you opened a Shopify store and used print-on-demand apps to sell higher margin products like these? Take this example here. What we have is a veteran t-shirt, and it looks pretty good, right? We can sell this on Amazon and make about $3.72 per sale, which is no way to run a business in my opinion. But what if we used a print-on-demand app like Subliminator or Pillow Profits and put this same design concept on a product like this, a car seat cover? The design is a little bit different, but you get the point. When we do something like this, you're going to be making about 35.
So first and foremost, what he's saying, I am a big fan of, in that like you take a validated idea from Amazon and you sell it in more places, including Shopify, and offering it on more products. I mean, this is what you should be doing. If you have a design or a niche that's validated, get it on as many platforms and products as possible. Yes.
Dollars per sale in profit. And to make sales in this way, there are tons of different ways you can go about it. You can use Facebook ads, you can grow your own Instagram account and then post photos of your products and get your followers to buy it for you, or you can go and you can find an Instagram influencer and pay them a little bit of money to post the picture of your product on their account, so that way their followers see it, they come visit your account, and then they go to your store and they buy it from you. And remember, to
well, let's see what he has to say.
make $1,000 a month, you're going to have to sell that t-shirt 9 times a day. But what happens if you were doing it this way and making 9 sales a day with a car seat cover? You're literally going to be making hundreds of dollars in profit per day. And if you stretch that out,
2 things I wanted to just share real quick. One is that selling a car seat cover for a higher price point is going to most likely have a lower conversion rate. Like typically a higher ticket item, this isn't guaranteed, but like typically a higher ticket item that carries a higher profit margin has a lower conversion rate. You're way more likely to sell a t-shirt at $14.99 or $17.99 than you are to sell a car seat at $65 or $100, whatever it costs. I'm just saying, like, the higher the price, typically the higher the profit margin, typically the lower the conversion rate, typically. Also, Joe is an expert when it comes to running a Shopify print-on-demand store, so he gets a pass when it comes to kind of quickly glossing over what is the hardest part for average people that try to pursue Shopify. Like, he spent maybe 20 seconds talking about driving traffic to your Shopify store, but like he knows what he's doing. So to him, it's like second nature. Okay, spend 20 seconds talking about, yeah, just Facebook ads, Instagram account, and pay an influencer. But like, okay, first and foremost, like we've already talked about, like Instagram's not usually the most effective when it comes to driving traffic from Instagram, where they have a vested interest in keeping people on the platform off of Instagram. Like we know that. And the influencer thing, it's not that you can't run successful influencer campaigns, but like it's not easy. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. We don't need to get in depth there. And then Facebook ads. So like you have to become an expert digital marketer basically. Like Facebook ads, even if you know what you're doing, you go into things expecting to like split test multiple ad sets for a single product most of the time. So it's not like as simple as spending 20 seconds talking about how to solve the hardest part of the equation when it comes to running a Shopify store. And it's not unique to just Shopify. Like, I'm a web developer, guys. You already know I run a website that gets 200,000 plus, like minimum 220,000 hits a month. It's not a Shopify store. It's just a website. It's a fun website. I made it in college. I attached a Shopify store to it, and it was not easy to make sales, even with that kind of traffic. Granted, it's not an e-commerce website. People don't go there to buy stuff. They go there to consume the content. But as someone who knows how to get organic traffic, like, the organic route is incredibly hard. And, you know, he is giving you good advice and setting the expectation that you're going to have to pay to send traffic to your Shopify store. Yes, that's good advice, but like, that's where most people fail. So it's worth mentioning that, like, that's not easy. And spending 20 seconds talking about the hardest part of the equation is not really doing justice to what most people are going to experience in starting their Shopify print-on-demand store.
Over a month, you're going to be making thousands of dollars. With just one sale, you can make 10 times the profit with the car seat cover than you can with the t-shirt. And with Shopify, you're not limited in how many designs you can actually create. And you can sell dozens of high margin products. Things like jewelry, skateboards, hooded dresses, blankets with hoods, car seat covers, and even shoes. And the best part is, all of these products are going to make you double, triple, and even sometimes 10 times as much profit as the t-shirt would.
Again, though, don't get lost in those numbers, because what if you make 10 times less sales? The end result would be the same, right? And keep in mind, like, you actually may make 10 times less sales on your own Shopify store, where everybody that ends up there, you paid to generate a click with an ad to send them there. Whereas on Amazon, if you get you can advertise on Amazon, but if you get an organic sale on Amazon, you may then get 2 more sales the next day, because again, every sale you make on Amazon is improving your listing's organic rank, which is something that cannot be overlooked.
With Amazon merch. So for those that weren't listening, I want to break down the argument. So before you comment, you can just see it again. So basically what I'm saying is, my biggest critique is that with Amazon merch for beginners, it's going to be a long, long road just to make $1,000 in profit per.
He's right. All right, look, it may seem like I came across hard, but like, dude, this guy knows what he's talking about. I'm not trying to knock him at all. He's right in pretty much everything that he said, including what he just mentioned. Print on demand, it's going to take a while, especially on Amazon merch, where you're limited in your uploads, which is good and bad in my opinion.
Per month, you have low margin t-shirts, you have competitive search results, and you're going.
Yes and yes. Margins are not attractive to most people, and it is hyper competitive. Agree 100%.
To be limited in how many designs you can actually upload on your account. And with Shopify, you can sell high margin products. You can upload as many designs as you want, and you don't need hundreds of listings to make $1,000 in profit per month. If you take a look back at that car seat cover example, if you sold just a fraction of the amount that it would take on Amazon, you would be making even more profit. And yes, Shopify does have some cons to it. If you want to check out this video right here, I went through them and I talked about my opinion on them and kind of broke down why I don't think that the cons of the Shopify.
I didn't catch that video, by the way, so my bad. If he might have said everything that I just said in that video, so if he did, I apologize.
Should make you not choose it as a platform for your business. And I also have another video on my channel right here where I compared Shopify to other platforms like Teespring and Redbubble, and if you want to check that out, I'll try to put both the links down in the description. So let me.
All right, guys, hey, let's wrap this here. Joe seems like a really good guy, seems very knowledgeable, and his expertise seems very complementary to my own. And you know what's great about print on demand in general is that you don't have to box yourself in and choose between merch versus Shopify. You can do both. And it seems like for sure we're both in agreement that they can be complementary. Like we both said, hey, if you got an idea validated on merch with some sales, take it on Shopify, take it on Redbubble, take it other places, put it on as many products as you possibly can. And some of those products are going to make you a higher profit margin per sale. So take advantage of that, guys. I'm going to follow up with him via email after this, hopefully get him on the channel. But hey, if you guys like this video, all I ask, let the YouTube algorithm know. Hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed and you want to do so, definitely hit that big red button. It would be much appreciated. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Passive Income School is open. Enroll now at ryansmethod.com. Thank you.